What is going on, guys? Come on in. Are we live? Are we live? I think that we are live. Let me check out my restream. Yeah, man, I'm live. I'm live. I am live on this Monday. Come on in, guys. Let's have some fun on this Monday. It is March the 3rd. Come on in, and it's time to have some fun. That's what it's time to have. Time to have some fun on this Monday. I'm going to make sure I get everything scheduled. Yes, I got that scheduled the right way. So that looks good. If you guys can hear me just fine, make sure that you leave me a 1 in the chat because you know me, I can talk. And sometimes I'll end up talking if the software ain't working right. You guys might not hear me clear. And sometimes there's echoes and all sorts of stuff. So let me make sure that everything is working just fine. The life of Cam's in the house. Good to see you, brother Kamal. Good to see you. Are you back? Are you back from your trip in Thailand? Let me know. Or are you still in Thailand spending some time with your boo, man? Spending some time with his boo. That's what my man Kamal is doing over there in Thailand, enjoying himself, man. He is I don't want to call him a passport, bro, because he's actually not a passport, bro. He's a guy who's committed to his woman. And he's just spending that quality time with her in Thailand. Good to see you, my man. NC Realtor Lady is in the house. Good to see you, darling. Good to see you all here on this beautiful Monday. We got about 9 people that's watching us right now on this beautiful Monday. Beautiful Monday in San Antonio. 73 degrees. A little bit of overcast, but you know what? I love the weather. I was out on the front porch early this morning. I was doing some work, smoking a cigar, guys. Yes, I started my day off this morning with some coffee, a nice little walk. And then I got the work stuff going on the front porch with a nice little breeze. And I lit up a breakfast cigar while I was working. Perfect morning, perfect Monday morning. The good thing is I got up early and got my work done. And I got a nice little workout in. And you know what? I went for a nice little walk with my wife in the park, walked 2 miles. So I'm feeling good, man. I am feeling good, but good to see you all here this beautiful Monday. Good to see you all guys here. We got a good show for you guys. It is Monday, March the 3rd. We are already in the last month of the quarter. Last month, the first quarter. What are you guys going to be doing? What are you guys executing on? I know what I have to get done. I got to get done quite a bit by March the 31st. I had for this year, I had 3 big rocks. One of those big rocks I need to have done by the end of the first quarter. So I'm going to be under a lot of pressure over the next couple of weeks to execute that. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time and I've been working on for a very long time, but I need to make sure that it's final by March 31st. What big rocks do you guys have that you wanted to accomplish in the first quarter? If you guys don't have any goals for yourself, put it like this. You guys don't have any goals for yourself, you're not going to make it very far in life. You're just not. You have to have those goals in front of you. You got to have goals for yourself and you have to have those goals defined. And that's something that I made sure that I did at the beginning of this year. And I only set 3 big ones. Now they're big ones now. I'm talking about they're big ones. Last year, I felt like I had too many goals and I did accomplish quite a bit. But the big ones I didn't get to because there's always work to do. There's always work to do. And sometimes when you find yourself just wanting to be busy, you don't end up accomplishing the big things that you want to accomplish. So I set myself to accomplish 3 big goals this year. And the first one I need to have done by March the 31st. We are moving along in this year already, guys. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic Monday. Like I mentioned, we got an incredible lineup for you guys on this show today. So I want you guys to be active. You know, all my ladder climbers, all the folks here in the community, elevate to the unknown. You guys are active anyway. Sometimes you're more active than others. I want you guys to be active today. I need some feedback from you. I want to understand exactly what you guys are thinking about these topics. I want to hear your opinions. I want to laugh. I want to crack up because that's the kind of Monday that I'm having. I'm having a good Monday. So I want to make sure that you guys are giving me some of that energy back by chatting with me in the chats, man. Let me tell you guys about my weekend. I had a really good weekend. And the reason why I had a pretty good weekend is because my basketball team, guys, my basketball team finished the season 7-1. We crushed the team. It's a team that we share the basketball court with and has been watching us all season long. And I was a bit concerned going into the game because of the fact that they get a chance to watch us every single week. And we didn't scrimmage them, and I didn't want to scrimmage them. Didn't want to. And I said to myself, man, like maybe they have figured out a way how they can stop my players because they see us every single week. And I don't think I've ever like really paid attention to their practice because I'm always focusing on what I need to do and what I need to coach my boys, right? So we get to the game on Saturday. It's 11 o'clock game. And I'm like, oh, I'm pumped. I got the kids ready. I told them to get there an hour ahead of time and go through a nice little warm up and get the guys ready. And I had this little feeling in my stomach. I'm like, man, are they going to come out here and, shut us down? Because the previous week they scored like 38 points. I'm talking about they were just hooping. I'm like, man, either the other team's defense sucks or either their defense sucks because the other team scored 38 on them as well. I'm like, something ain't right about this. No team has scored over 18 points on my team the entire season. So the game starts and we come out hot, 7-2 run. Next thing you know, I think it was a 6-0 run, then an 8-0 run. And, we beat these guys like 28 to 9 or something along those lines. So we crushed this team. The coaches weren't as happy with me. The other team's coach wasn't as happy with me because I was pretty loud. I was pretty obnoxious on the court, on the sideline, because the team was doing things that should have been coached, meaning that they were doing moving screens. They were running around holding the ball for way too long. And I said a couple of things to some of their kids and their fathers. So, they weren't too happy with me. But needless to say, we won, and I was very excited. And most importantly, the season is done. So I get the next 3 weeks to enjoy myself on the weekends without having to coach football or basketball on a Saturday and Sunday. And I need this time, guys. I need this time. The last 8 weeks have just been absolutely insane. I started a new job in January, so you already know how that is. You got to put in a lot of hours. I've been putting in a lot of hours, and I've been getting very little rest. So sometimes I've been cranky, and then having to coach kids 4 nights out of the week. It's a lot of work, man. And being a husband and a father, it's a lot of work. So I'm glad that I get a bit of a break over the next 3 weeks before the season starts all over again. And I'm going to be doing the exact same thing over again. So, just getting it done, man. Getting it done. I also went to church on Sunday. Fantastic sermon by the pastor. And the pastor, his message really resonated with me because it's something that we often talk about on this channel. The lies that we tell ourselves, whether it's about our corporate career or whether it's about our relationships that we have with people, we tell ourselves lies. And we tell ourselves lies a lot of the times because of fear. And we tell other people lies because of fear. We tell people lies because a lot of the times we fear how they're going to judge us or what they're going to say about it. You know how it is when you're growing up a lot of the times and you want to be included. So you tell people things that aren't true so that you can feel like you're part of that group. It's lies, right? And that's what the pastor was talking about. And it just resonated with me because, growing up and going along within my career, there's been many lies that I've told myself that has hurt me and caused me to become stuck. And there's lies that I've told others that has caused me to become stuck. And I can tell you like this, over the last 2 to 3, 4 years, being really dedicated to just learning and growing. And over the last year, joining a men's group that has really helped me to really position me in multiple aspects of my life to move forward and to grow and to become unstuck. This message just resonated with me, and it's caused me to just look at the world a little bit different. That's what it's done. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I did go to church on Sunday and it was a fantastic session. And a lot of the times, we realize that we tell ourselves lies all the time. Hey, I'm going to get up and go to the gym, or I'm going to start a workout routine, or whatever it is. And we say this sort of stuff. And next, we don't commit to it. And that's a lie. And that's not what the man upstairs wants. So anyway, thanks for joining us. If you guys are joining us for the first time, I'm Antoine Wade. I've got 18 years of experience in tech, specifically in supply chain, but now I've moved over to the AI space where the money is being made. And I'm here to help you guys elevate to the unknown. That's what we do on this channel. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday. The topics that we're going to be diving into today are, first, we're going to talk about layoffs, because we got to start the show talking about layoffs, what's going on in the market, so that you guys can be prepared for it. We're also going to be talking about bouncing back after you've been labeled an underperformer. Many of you guys have been labeled as an underperformer. You may have gotten, laid off from the government, or you may have gotten laid off from a tech job, or you may have gotten laid off from another industry. Well, how do you bounce back from such a thing like that? And the question is, why were you an underperformer? Maybe you were telling yourself lies, like I was just talking about just now. Oh man, everything is good. A lot of the times we ask ourselves this question. This is something that the pastor said to me the other day, or pastor said in church. He was like, a lot of times people ask you, how you doing? And you know damn well you ain't doing good, but you say, oh, I'm good, man. That's a lie. Those are the lies that I'm talking about. Those are the lies that we're talking about. And you have to be open and honest in order for you to grow and to become unstuck. But we're also going to be talking about the economic blackout. I didn't hear anything about this, but I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm just like, all right, well, let's talk about the economic blackout to determine if you guys participated in this whole thing or not. And what was the reason for an economic blackout? I live on a rock, guys. When I'm focused, I live on a rock. Only mess with certain people. My boys, Damien's, my boy Ken's, you guys from the Black Heights community on Mondays. And that's pretty much it. So I don't know anything about economic blackouts until I see somebody makes a YouTube video on it when I turn on the YouTube University. And we're going to talk about 5 career lies that you were told, because we've been told lies many times. One of the lies that we've been told is to follow your passion. Now, I didn't pay attention to that at all. I went towards the money. But many times you were told, find your passion, you'll figure it out, follow your passion, go and do this. Well, many of you guys followed your passion and you're not making the money that you want to make. That's what happens. And last, we're going to talk about the Gervonta Davis fight. I got a chance to watch that on Saturday night. I stayed up late, man. I'm going to tell you like this, guys. Typically, I'm in bed by 9:30. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend or not. Ask my boys. When we were at the chili cook-off the last weekend, when I had the Airbnb and I had my boys there, right? They were up maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. I disappeared. I'm in bed by 9:30. And Saturday night, I decided I wanted to stay up to watch this fight. I got a chance to watch it, and I'll give you guys my recap of what happened, but I'll also talk about some of the controversy that's in the news as well about it. So I wanted to end off on a sports related topic so that, something that we all can just discuss, right? Something that we can learn and take something away from. Well, that's going to be the show today, guys. Let's check out and see who's in the house. Who's in the house today, man? The life of Cam's in the house, coming to us from Thailand. Oh, he said he's back in the U.S. for now. He said he started his PMP boot camp last week. We'll find out later this month if I was accepted into the other PhD program that I applied for a few months ago. Man, good stuff, my man. He's always grinding, always leveling up, always getting new skills, always pushing himself to do something better. My man, Kamal, good to see you back in the house. NC Realtor says she just started the Google Project Manager course. I love it. I mean, look at that. Look at that ladder climbing. That's what we do on this channel. We ladder climb. We putting ourselves in positions to get that money, but not only that, positions to not be replaced, in positions to make even more money. That's what we're doing. I love it, NC Realtor. Steven Stern is in the house. Good to see you, brother Steven. We got to catch up, my man. We got to catch up, brother Steven, man. That's another one. That's another one who's doing some big things. Him and his beautiful wife doing some really big things down in Atlanta. Real estate games on point. Guys making all kinds of money, man. Steven Stern sent me a text message when a couple weeks ago. He's like, man, check out my account, Antoine. I was like, God damn, you making all kinds of money, Steven Stern. Give me some of that. Give me some of that, man. Oh, man. Taking accountability is tough. Life of Cam says, Operation Tech Takeover is in the house. Good to see my man. Peace and blessings, he says. Sorry I'm late. Ran over to the patients tonight. Hope the family is good. You know what? Family is good, my man. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Miss Wade is in the house too. She says, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button. She is right now at Ninja Kids with my daughter. My son decided he wanted to stay home with me and chill with dad tonight while I'm doing my show. So really, he's not really chilling with dad. He's playing his iPad. That's what he's doing. But he may be watching me too. Who knows? You never know. You never know. Lil Ernest is in the house. They're checking in from Miami Beach. The beautiful Miami Beach where all the rich kids live and all the rich kids are moving. Lil Ernest, man, you give me some of that money. I don't know how in the world you afford to live in Miami Beach, but God, and if you live in there, you got it made, my man. I like Miami. I'm a big fan of Miami. O Young is in the house, says more like an under communicator. I hear you, man. I hear you on that one. Damien from the country says, hey, BH crew, my big bro Damien's in the house, man. Anthony Boyd says, hair grease, man. He's talking about Javonte Davis. Hair grease. I know, right? Hair grease. That boy there just, he lost that fight. I'm just going to put it like this. He lost that fight, even with let's just put it like this. Without, I'll talk about that during that segment. I'm not even going to get there. Life Cam says, the first thing I did after hearing about the economic blackout was to go to Walmart and Target and do some shopping. Oh, man. Steven says, we are at the property now. Oh, I bet you guys are at that property, man. Good stuff, Stern. Good stuff, my man. Good stuff, guys. So let's jump into the topics today. We're going to break off with the layoffs to get you guys up to speed on what's going on in the market. We're going to talk about layoffs first. Let's do that right now. Tell you guys who's laying off, man. Because there's companies that's laying off, and you guys going to want to know about that.
San Francisco-based company Autodesk is announcing a major restructuring plan, which includes layoffs to about 9% of its workforce. The software storage company is cutting over 1,300 jobs, saying this is part of its push towards cloud-based design and artificial intelligence. This comes while Autodesk reported strong financial results for the fourth quarter and full year. It is not clear when these layoffs will go into effect. San Francisco.
All right, you guys heard it. Let me do this real quick. Take off my NDI so you guys don't hear that extra bubble. But Autodesk is another company that just laid off a whole bunch of people. So we got another round of layoffs that's happening right now. You got HP, you got Autodesk, you got Grubhub, and you got more. What's really going on? I'm going to tell you in this segment right now. There's a lot that's going on in the market, but it's happening again, guys. You're talking about another week of companies that's laying off thousands of employees. And here's what you need to understand. If you don't have a skill that makes a business money, I'm going to make this very, very clear for you guys. If you don't have a skill that makes a business money, you will always be underpaid, overlooked, or first on the chopping block when it's time for layoffs. Okay? I want you guys to remember that. And remember who said it. Mr. Wade said it. If you don't have a skill that makes a business money, meaning that you don't generate revenue, or you're not close to revenue, or you're not working with a company to bring in revenue, or you're not managing something very close that's important to the business, you will be underpaid, you will be overlooked, or you will be one of the first ones on the chopping block. Okay. So the companies that are laying people off this week, HP Inc., the printer company, the personal device company, the laptop company, they're cutting more than 2,000 employees. And the reason why they're cutting 2,000 employees is because AI is replacing jobs. And there's a whole bunch of corporate restructuring that's going on. So what are they doing? They're still a profitable business. They're saying, you know what? We assessed our business. We have too many people here, or we have jobs that can be done by people with AI. So they're getting rid of 2,000 employees. That's 2,000 employees that's not going to have a job or going to be looking for a job and in a workplace. Okay. You got Autodesk. You guys heard the news article just now. They're laying off 1,300 employees. And Autodesk is a company that I had my eyes on at one point in time. They are a tech company that's responsible for like the graphic design software. So the CAD software. So all the building that goes on, they basically are the number one software company that does all of the computer aided graphics. So if you are in any construction or construction, any sort of oil and gas, any of the industries where things are being built from data centers, they own that software. And they are a very profitable company, a company that is a public company, and their stock is doing very, very well. But they're laying off 1,300 employees as well. And they're cutting specialized tech roles, and they're cutting roles that can be outsourced. You got Grubhub. So those are two tech companies that we just talked about. You also got Grubhub and Ibotta, which is food delivery companies. So not only are tech companies getting rid of people in the federal government, because we talked about the federal government over the last 2 weeks, you got food delivery companies that are cutting headcount as well. Grubhub is getting rid of people. They're cutting they said about 3% of their workforce. Now, these numbers aren't confirmed yet, but what they're looking to do is they're trying to increase their profit margins. And they're saying that automation is going to help them improve their profit margins. You also got a startup called HerMD, which is a web company that specializes for women healthcare needs and women content on healthcare. That company is shutting down completely. And what I would tell you like this, guys, is if you are working for a startup that isn't profitable, your job ain't safe. Not in this world today, not in this type of economy. Your job is not safe in this economy if you are working for a company that isn't profitable. You had some companies that were able to hang on over the last couple of years, but now with AI, there's no excuse not to be profitable. You think about what's happening within the federal government. Elon Musk and Doge in the office of PMO. What they're doing is they're seeing the inefficiencies in these companies, basically unprofitable businesses or unprofitable government entities, and they're getting rid of it. Same thing's happening there. But ultimately, what you're seeing is that these companies aren't just laying off random people. They're cutting roles they don't see as revenue generating. Go and look at it. Go and look up all the data. Go and look up the number of people that are being cut. You won't see a whole bunch of salespeople. You won't see a whole bunch of project managers. You won't see a whole bunch of people that are related to the product unless you are not good, right? But if your job is a cost to the company rather than a profit driver, you are at risk. And that's just the cold, hard truth, guys. It sucks to hear it. If you're not generating revenue, close to it, touching it, helping customers become satisfied, the truth is you may be next in line. That's just the cold, hard truth. Now, why is all this happening? Well, companies want profitability more than they want people. Profitability, is going to cause their numbers to go up, their stock prices to go up. That's basically what they want. And like I mentioned, if your job doesn't directly contribute to that revenue, you're a cost. HP's layoffs are about automation and AI replacing roles. This is the new normal for you guys. This is a new normal for all of us, which is the reason why I've been talking about sales for a very long time. If you guys read my newsletter, if you guys part of the Black Heights newsletter, and I think you should be, so go and check out the www.blkheights.com and go ahead and click on the newsletter. It's free. I send something out every single Monday, just like I do live streams on a Monday here. And you guys will read all the good stuff that I'm talking about. But I sent out a article this morning, or a newsletter this morning, talking about my W-2s for 2024. Many of you guys have seen it in the Discord. And I talked about why it's very important to be in a revenue generating role, how it's going to allow for you to make a good amount of money, how it's going to keep you safe in times of economic downturn, how it's going to help you build a network so that when other leaders move on to other companies and they need to grow a business fast, you are that person that they will probably tap on the shoulder if you've had a good amount of success in contributing to revenue generation. That's what I talked about in my newsletter today. And not only that, I showed you exactly what my W-2 was for my corporate job last year. I didn't have a good year last year. I didn't have it. For many of you guys, you probably would be like, Shit, Antoine, you're lying. But for me, I didn't have a very good year when it comes down to W-2 salary last year. I didn't. Could have done a lot better. This year, I'm expecting it to be a lot better. But that's just W-2 salary. You know, on this channel, we also talk about things that you should be doing outside of W-2 salary, just in case you are one of the ones that's laid off. Take it, for instance, my brother Damien. My brother Damien started real estate. He has his own house. Now he's going to buy another couple of properties. He started his coaching business, got his website up. All he has to do now is get clients to come through and start booking coaching calls with him. He's a project manager, certified PMP. If you want to get into project management, check out my brother Damien. Damien, go ahead and put the link into the description of the chat if you got a chance to. Check it out. Check him out. He will help you to become a project manager. If you need project management coaching, or if you are a type of person that you just want to understand what it's like to work as a project manager, NC Realtor, you might be a perfect candidate for you, a perfect coach for you. Check him out. Damien can put his information in the description. If he can't do that, Damien, just send it to me and I'll make sure that I'll drop it into the description of the video or the comment section of the video a little bit later. But guys, it's not just about W-2 income. It's also about the other things that you can be doing on the side. And that's how you will make sure that if something was to happen, that you won't be stuck. Okay. Another reason why these companies are doing that are doing a lot of layoffs is because specialized skills are being replaced or they are being outsourced. So companies no longer need certain roles that AI and software can do the work of. What are those roles? Development, data entry. Those are the roles that companies don't need anymore. Why? Because now you have agents that can actually do that job. You have agents that can do that job now. AI agents that can train itself. And we're not talking about like just you thinking an agent is jumping into ChatGPT and asking it with a prompt. That's not an agent. An agent is something that you can build that actually does the work itself. And you can have multiple types of agents. You can have an agent on an agent on an agent. My boy Patrick was on this show a couple months ago to talk about building an agent, and he's built me one. And I have one that does the work for me. But these things can do just about anything that you want it to do if you have a full process. If you can define a process and you want something to work a certain way, you can build an agent to execute that. Even coding, even research, even script writing for YouTube channels. It can do it all. So specialized skills are being replaced with AI bots, AI agents, or either they are being outsourced. Again, if you are not in a revenue generating role, your job is at risk. And this is the biggest thing right here, guys. The market is shifting. It is moving faster than you can ever imagine, faster than I've ever seen. Ever since AI came out and has become part of the new go forward, and it is here to stay, the market has shifted. But the most important thing is you can still win. You can still win. The jobs in general, I would say the types of jobs or roles are disappearing. Certain roles are disappearing. And certain roles are changing. The most important thing that we can do now in a shifting market like this is to be able to adapt and adapt fast. That's the only way that we'll be able to make the money that we want to make and make the most money. The people who adapt and they adapt the fastest will be ones that make the most money. The people who were doing agents last year, the people who are in AI and automation and cloud this year, they're going to be making a whole bunch of money. You heard Apple announcing $500 billion in the US. Your TSMC announcing $100 billion in the U.S. in Arizona. This is the right time to learn AI, automation, sales, all of that in order for you to get to this money, because it is about to explode. It already is. I mean, you got people who work at Salesforce last year making about $100,000 a year. Now they're on track to make $400,000 a year. $400,000 a year. And it's only in the first quarter. Talked to a good buddy of mine. He's been trying to, he was trying to get on my calendar for a good little bit. And, you know, my coaching schedule, it didn't happen. So I ended up talking to him last week. He was like, Anton, I'm about to make more money than I ever could imagine. And he told me what he was close to. I was like, you're making good money now, boy. You're making good money. And he's selling Salesforce agents. He works for Salesforce. It's time to make that shift. And the people who are making it the fastest, they're going to be the ones that's making the most money. So guys, don't sit here and sit back and say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to still do the same old stuff. I keep doing the same old stuff. The same old stuff is going to get your ass, you know, upset on YouTube and on Facebook, mad at people. Oh, I wish I would have did this. Oh, I wish I would have listened to Antoine. You're going to be complaining like these workers are right now who's getting laid off. Oh, they ain't doing me right. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are devils. That's what you're going to be saying. You're going to be upset. You're going to be upset about somebody. You're not going to be upset about yourself. But here's the point. We talked about lies earlier. You lied to yourself. You lied to yourself that you were comfortable. Being comfortable is not growth. You lied to yourself that you were going to be safe. You lied to yourself that you knew it all. You lied to yourself that you didn't need to change. You lied to yourself. You lied to yourself. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about 4 ways to become layoff proof. My number 1, learn how to sell, man. Learn how to sell yourself and your skills. I said it before, sales is the number 1 skill that changed my life. I'll say it again. It's the number 1 skill that changed my life. If you can sell yourself, you can sell your value, you can sell your expertise, you will always have opportunities. Companies never lay off people that make them money. I mean, they do in some instances because, you know, could be ethics, could be any of that sort of stuff. But the reality of it is companies usually never lay off people that makes them money. So number 1, learn how to sell. If you guys want to learn how to sell, check out Course Careers. You guys want to learn how to sell, check out Level Careers. Check it out. Teach you how to sell. A lot of people have used those programs to break in. If you don't want to use any of those programs, there's tons of others that are out there. Number 2, stop thinking like a damn employee. This is something that I've had to learn. I've really had to learn. You need to stop thinking like an employee. A CEO, my previous CEO, had me on a sales call one day, and he had me pitching to another CEO. And I wasn't as confident into what we were selling at that point in time. So it was an okay pitch, you know, blah, blah, blah. It didn't go anywhere, long story short. And then, you know, we had some further discussions. And one of the things that he said, he was like, Antoine, get in the game, man. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, get in the game. I didn't know what he was talking about. And he was like, you've moved your family across the country. Yes, I did. You got your MBA. Yes, I did. You've grown this business to $11 million business in 1 year. Yes, I did. Why don't you act like you are the business? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, this is your business. Treat it like your business. Have ownership. Own it. Don't think like you're doing this for somebody else. Treat it as if it is yours. Stop thinking like an employee, is what he was telling me. And it was probably the most important words that I could have gotten at that point in time. It changed my mind. Because far too many times we get comfortable thinking that if we just do our job, then we're safe. That's not how the game works. You need to be the business. And you need to be a business within a business. So the person who solves the most expensive problems, the person who brings in the most revenue, these are the people that you want to be. These are the businesses that you want to be inside of your business. Not just another worker that's on a payroll. So you need to stop thinking like an employee. Become the business. Become a business inside of your business. Become that unit that generates revenue or solves problems that anybody can go to. And you will see how much your salary is going to skyrocket. And you will see how you will be layoff proof, because they're going to be like, nah, I rock with this guy. Hey, we can't, we're not touching that. Not happening. And if they do touch you, somebody else is going to be like, nope, he solves that problem. I need him. And they'll pay you a whole bunch of money. And I'll tell you this too. Number 3, build a network that works for you, man. Hiring managers aren't looking at resumes. I talked to a good brother of mine who's a recruiter at Microsoft. Talked to another good brother of mine who's a recruiter at Workday. I got a individual referred into the company that I work for now. They didn't care about the resume, how they look. You didn't have to have a super polished resume that beats the ATS system. Hiring managers are looking at the relationships that you have with people. And they were like, all right, you know what? Ken's good, or Antoine's good, or Damien's good. Yeah, we'll talk to him. Oh, you know this person? Oh, yeah, okay. We'll definitely talk to him. Oh, you know the COO of the company? Oh, yeah. And they said that they vouched for you? Oh, yeah, we're going to bring you in no matter what. I don't care if you do a terrible job on your interviews. If you know the right person, you have the right relationships, you're going to get a seat at the table. And if you're not in the right rooms, feel like this, you're already behind. You're already behind. The people who get laid off first, they are the ones that don't have connections. They're the ones that sit there and put their head down and just do their work. They're the ones that probably do a whole bunch of work too. They're probably really good employees, but nobody knows their name. Nobody's talking about them, because all they were taught and all they were told, do your job, be quiet. The reality of it is, you want to be known. You go down the aisle within the grocery store, you see the products that are touched, see the products that are the shelves or the shelf spots on that planogram that are empty. Those are the ones that are known. That's what you want to be. And I'll tell you one more. The last one. Just stack wins early. I mean, like at one point in time in my career, I was making $17 an hour, guys. And I was in college. But before you know it, I cracked 6 figures within 2 or 3 years out of college. The difference is that I focused on small wins that proved my value, and I showed results. And when you can do that, it's easy to negotiate higher salaries. It's easy to negotiate promotions. That are easy to negotiate better opportunities. It's easy to negotiate long-term security. Stack wins early. Create your brag book. I talk about the brag book often, man. I'm telling you like this. You guys don't got yourself a brag book. Shit, you don't know what you're doing. You need to get yourself a brag book. And write something down every single day in your brag book, guys. Write something down every single day in your brag book. It's important. Then you can tell people about what you did, what you stacked. My boy Damien sent me a text message the day before the show. Ready, set, PM. Oh, that's what it is. I'll put it in here myself. Let me do this real quick. Check out my brother Damien. You guys need project management coaching, go ahead and check him out. Check him out. Brother Christian is in the house. Good to see you, my man. Benny B is in the house. What are revenue generating roles in supply chain? Benny, revenue generating roles, man, in supply chain, the same roles anywhere else in revenue generating, right? Sales, anything that's touched the products, anything that pushes the products, sales are revenue generating roles. You also, in supply chain, one of the areas that you can be in also is procurement and roles that saves the company money. It's important. Billy Rose in the house. In supply chain, it's labor, sales, and strategic planning. Absolutely. Strategy is big in supply chain. Good catch on that one, Billy. The Life of Cam. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. While everyone is stressed out about layoffs, I recommend making a strategic. In my opinion, the goal should be to be in a position where you don't have to work a 9 to 5 if you don't want to. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? And put it like this. As a husband and a father and a provider for our family, if you guys are single, don't have kids, not married, that's the goal. Get a job that's going to pay you very, very well. Not going to have anything to do with your passion. You have some flexibility. And then start building something for the next 5 to 10 years on the side. And before you know it, 5 to 10 years goes by. And you can say, the economy done changed again. Now we're out of AI and we're into some other new technology that's crushing the job market. And they decide they want to come after sales or revenue generating roles. Because you never know, that might get hit either. It might get hit next. You never know. 10, 5 years, whatever it is, right? And then you can make the change. You can say, nah, I'm not going to touch this. I'm not going to. Or you can say, I'm making so much money on the side, I don't need to do any of this stuff anymore. That's what you can do. That's what you can do. Check it out. So most people stay stuck because they refuse to change, guys. They refuse to change their approach. They lie to themselves. That's why I started this show off talking about lies that we tell ourselves. And that's why that sermon yesterday resonated with me. Because I often, in my early stage career, and sometimes even today, we lie to ourselves. Because we're afraid. We're afraid of change. We're afraid of what we don't know. We're afraid of what we're going to sound like. We're afraid of what people are going to think of us. I wish there was like a juice, right? I'm drinking this sparkling ice, and it's the black cherry, one of my favorite ones, got the little bubbles in it. I wish there was like a juice that was like, I don't give a F. I don't give a F juice, right? Where you can drink it and all of a sudden you can just not care what people think, and you can just do things that you ultimately want to do in a positive way so that you wouldn't have to fear. All right. So if you're watching this right now and you're ready to stop playing small and start taking control of your career, go ahead and book a call with me. Check out the link in the description of this video. My coaching calendar has increased over the last couple of weeks, guys. I'm telling you. People are afraid, especially people who are in the federal. So if you guys need help, need somebody to talk to about your career and where you want to do and what you want to do and where you want to go next, book a coach session with us. www.bokheights.com, career empowerment. Check it out in the link of this description of this video. Brother Damien, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat, man. He says PM is a good role to be in. Absolutely. Check out his the website that I set up there as well too. Ready, Set, PM. Go and check him out. Damien will make sure that he provides you with the best coaching because he is a great coach. He's a great PM. He's done it for the biggest companies. HP. Who else Damien did it for? What's the big old oil and gas company that's out there in Houston? Halliburton. He's doing it for AI company right now, building data centers, running all of their projects. Damien got all the projects on his back. Damien come home and be tired. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love you, brother Damien. All right, let's move on to the next subject. Bouncing back after you've been labeled an underperformer. You got laid off, Meta, Google, Facebook, all those companies. They laid off a whole bunch of people. And they call them underperformers. That's what they call them. Now, I know the reality of it is that people who have gotten laid off before, they're not underperformers. A lot of them aren't, but there are some of them that are. And I'll tell you guys like this. This was a conversation I had last week with my boys again, who are in HR. Let me tell you something, man. There are biases that exist in the world, in corporate as well, too. For instance, you are a young lady and you are pregnant. You can take paternity leave or maternity leave. Maternity leave, that's what it is, maternity leave, right? You can take it off for as long as you want. 17 weeks, whatever it is, right? It's really expected of you. I'm a manager. I've managed women in the workforce that took maternity leave and was out 17 weeks. Got it. Understood. The reality of it is that if she's a high performer, she's going to get a promotion ahead of time. She puts in the work ahead of time because she knows that she's going to be out for a long time, and there's not going to be much she can do when 17 weeks off. And people are going to take on her work. People are going to outsurpass her. People are going to do all sorts of stuff. It's kind of like you're playing for a basketball team, right? And you're the starter of the team. And all of a sudden you get hurt and you're out for 17 weeks. Somebody else comes, takes your place, does your work, whatever it is. Your team continues to move on. Okay? But let's talk about paternity leave. You got a lot of men who get paternity leave as well and can be 17 weeks. And the question that came up in my boys' conversation, and this is women as well too, right? They were a part of this conversation, was the HR policy allows for the man to take the 17 weeks. The question is, should he? The question is, should he? And that's the question for you guys in the chat. I want to know what you guys think. The question is, should he take that amount of time off, 17 weeks? If he gets paternity leave, he gets 17 weeks of paternity leave. The reality of it is if you do, you may get labeled as an underperformer. You may get labeled as an underperformer. This is the reality of it is. Reality of it is that you may get labeled as an underperformer. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about bouncing back after you've been labeled an underperformer. So, if you got hit with you're not cutting it, you're not bringing in the revenue, you're slowing us down, or you're just not a good fit for the company. One of the first things that you can do is to understand what you've been telling yourself, the lies that you've been telling yourself. You want to reflect. Take a step back. Ask yourself, why did I get labeled as an underperformer? Because a lot of times we don't see certain things a lot of the times when we're in the day to day. And you got to say, was it a skill gap? Was it bad management? Was it I thought too highly of myself and I really wasn't that good? Was I too lazy? Did I just delegate all the time? And the question is if you need skills, have you sought to go get them? If not, if you need new skills, get training. Go get certifications. Go do it ASAP. Nobody wants to admit that they fell short, man. So we tell ourselves lies. Nobody wants to admit that they fell short. But the worst thing that you can do is to ignore the reality of why you were let go or why you fell short. Was it because you didn't have a certain skill? Was it because you weren't communicating your value and you weren't on the shelf? You wasn't faced? Nobody could see you? You did the work, but nobody could see you? Or was it just corporate politics? I bet it was probably because you either didn't have the skills or you weren't communicating your value. It could have been corporate politics as well, too, because as you get higher and higher in your career, that does tend to play part of these decisions. But a lot of it is, were you not communicating your value? Many times we've been told growing up, keep your mouth shut. Do your job. It's not how it works. It's a lie. It's a lie that they told you in your career. Here's the move, though. You need to just level up, man. If you need new skills, go get those skills. If you don't have the right communication techniques or you don't know how to communicate your value, work on it. Don't let the company, that company's label that they given you that time and that job define who you are for the rest of your life. You can rewrite that narrative. We've all failed at certain things before. Man, shit. You know, I remember coaching basketball last year, my second game. We got mollywopped. Thought I had everything under control. Got mollywopped. Had to go back to the drawing board. Figure it out. And that's happened in life, in sales. Went into a customer call, thought I was prepared. Nope, didn't go like I wanted to. All hands call, invited a customer on, did pre-training and you know, a pre-meeting with this customer. They were long-winded, didn't connect with the customer, with our audience. There are some times it just doesn't go your way, but you just need to be honest with yourself. If it's new skills that you need, go get those new skills. If it's communication, learn how to communicate more effectively. But one of the biggest things that I would tell you is just don't let the company's label define you. You can rewrite that narrative. If you sucked at your last job and got fired, you can be a great employee at the next company that you're at. Number two, you want to just get real feedback, man. You're going to have some honest discussions with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Get a coach, get a mentor, get big bros that you don't mind having that conversation with. Find a mentor, somebody who knows your work. Ask them, were you really underperforming? Ask them. I got a good brother of mine who was put on a PIP. Okay. Told him why he was put on a PIP. You're in sales. You're supposed to be bringing in revenue, not talking about what the company is doing in the direction that they're going in. You're not supposed to be just waiting to drive business or waiting for somebody to tell you how to drive business. You're supposed to go out there and do it. Once that got in his head, he was off that PIP. Lucky. One of the only ones that I know, one of the few, sorry, not only, but one of the few that has gotten off of a PIP. But he took control over it. He was like, all right, I got to be an entrepreneur. I'll make it happen, Anton. All right, cool. But ask them, were you really underperforming? Or what's this a company's issue? If they say, yes, you were underperforming, use it as motivation to improve, man. You can only get better. And you really have to be brutally honest with yourself. Find a mentor, find a coach, former colleague, and ask them, did I actually underperform? And hopefully it's somebody that'll tell you the truth. And if they tell you, man, you weren't great, then just fix it. If they tell you it's the politics, then you know your value, move forward. Either way, get the feedback from the people that you can trust. That's very, very important. Very important. Here's another step. Make sure that you control your digital footprint. Be smart about social media. Think twice before venting online about your layoff. Don't go to TikTok. Don't go to Instagram. Don't go to these platforms and start sharing your frustration. Oh, man, Elon, he's such a bad guy. Oh, Trump, he's such a bad guy. Oh, my boss, he's terrible. She's terrible. Don't go do that. Think twice about any of that sort of stuff. Venting online about your layoff or any of those things. Keep your posts positive. If you are upset, don't post. Nobody wants to see any Facebook posts. You know how you know people who are going to do some terrible stuff in line. They just post this. They post all the time. They ain't got shit else to do. That's why. And they're bored. And they're not productive. Don't be that person. Because here's the thing. Future employers, they will check your LinkedIn. They will check your Facebook. They will check your digital presence. And if they come across something that just sounds like you are a butthurt person that just cries and is a baby, can't get stuff done, then you know what? They're probably not going to make a decision on you. If something wasn't fair, don't go and air that out online. I told you guys situations in my past roles. I'll tell you like this. I took accountability for it. I took accountability for it. I didn't say anybody did anything to me. I took accountability for it. And that's what you have to do. But whatever you do, please don't post online. Okay? If anything, if you're going to post something, talk about being excited for the next opportunity. There's a difference of posting about a breakup, a bad breakup, and posting about the future. Okay? There's a big difference. And in your interviews, just make sure that you know how to sell yourself. You should never say anything about I was laid off because of underperformance or anything like that. Just make sure you understand how to have that communication about what happened in your job and change the narrative. Own that narrative. If you were laid off or underperformance, that shouldn't be coming out of your mouth. It shouldn't be. Talk about what your roles are you're targeting and why it aligns with your strengths. Make it about growth. You moved on from this company because you wanted to do something different. The last thing you want to talk about is in an interview, you start defending yourself over being let go. That's the last thing you want to do, man. Own your own story. I want to work in a fast-paced environment. This environment wasn't fast-paced for me. I wanted to drive strategy. I wanted to be part of revenue generation. They were too slow to put me in that role. My last role was shifting towards a different direction. So now I'm looking for new opportunities. See, what happened there is it goes from things being done about you to you taking control of the situation. And the most important thing, guys, is this. Just know that your career ain't over, man. When something like that happens, it's not over at all. That's just one, not even a chapter. That's a page in a book. And the faster you can get over it, the better your life will become. All right, let's go to the chats real quick. Hail Driver says, how to stop underperforming. LOL. Someone is bound to get out regardless, to get cut regardless. You know, there you are right. There is somebody that's going to get cut. I mean, like, you can have a team of basketball players, right? Let's just say you have 20. They're still going to make cuts because you need to have a team of 15. If you have a team of 15, you need to make 10. There's still going to be cuts. Tough decisions need to be made. Life isn't fair, Hail Diver. So the goal is how do you set yourself up so that you aren't seen as that person that's easy to make a decision on. That's what we're talking about here. And part of that is being visible. Part of that is showing your value. Part of that is getting after it and the people that you know. Billy Rose says, the juice is application of knowledge. That is why a coaching session with Black Heights would be a perfect assist. Tell me about it, Billy Rowe. Tell him about it, brother Billy Rowe. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you, brother. Young boy, they're going to get you. Hey, Antoine, just wanted to say thank you for all these videos and MIS. I'm a 16-year-old in the IB program, and I've been looking into this degree, and I really like it. Gonna do CS and get a master's in IS. Thank you. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. We got a 16-year-old who watches the elevate to the unknown, man. That's what we do. We build future leaders, and we build current leaders. Ant Dog says, if the baby is ill, then yes. Ooh, yes. He was talking about the 17 weeks. Absolutely. Makes sense. Makes sense, Anthony. That's a very valid point. If there is some reason why you need to take 17 weeks, your daughter's having surgery, your baby is sick, wife's sick. Yes, I completely understand. But that's not the case. If that's not the case, Ant Dog, Billy Rose says the answer is no. He is perceived differently than a woman. That's the conversation we were having, Billy Rose. That's the conversation we were having. Now, as a manager, and as a man who's managed men and women, I don't look at the women when they take maternity leave any sort of way. I think about them as like, man, their job is going to be safe when they're going to get back. Like, they're doing what society needs. It's great. But you let me one of my homeboys or let me one of my employees come to me like, Antoine, I'm taking 17 weeks off, man. I'm going to be gone. Oh, hold on. That's what's going to come out of my mouth. Well, that's what's going to come. That's the first thing that's going to pop up in my brain. What did he say? 17 weeks? Hey, that means I got to find a part-time employee. Yeah, I got to put him on. Yep. Oh, man, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, right? Jason says, I would be scared to take the FMLA Act. Right. Even when there's like family medical leave and there's rules that exist out there and policies that do exist. And I got to say, HR's role is to ensure that there's equality. That's the role. But does that exist? No, it doesn't. It doesn't exist. Damien says paternity leave was not a thing when my kids were born, right? I mean, like, for my daughter, I may have taken a week off. Maybe two. No, it was a week off. It was only a week. And then I took 2 weeks off when she had open heart surgery. And then when she had her last open heart surgery, I was off for about 3 or 4 days, but that was it. I worked. I mean, like, I was in a hospital. I had to work. My mind wasn't going to be like, I had to work. I even did stuff on Black Heights. It's hard to take 17 weeks off. You take 17 weeks off, that's, man, tough. Jerron says the emotional posts are uncomfortable, right? Oh, man. And LinkedIn is starting to become like really like that, Jabron. LinkedIn is starting to become like that, man. That's why I stay off of it. Like, man, I'm getting off of LinkedIn. LinkedIn be like the Facebook after a boyfriend breaks up with a girlfriend or a girlfriend breaks up with a boyfriend. Be ugly. Christian says, facts, the only thing you're going to do is make yourself a target not to get hired. It's true. It's true. Brother Kenneth Barney, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. My brother Ken is in the house, man. Be an adult. You have a family. I watched an employee get managed out due to her social media. I block coworkers. Right? Like, you see all these TikTok videos about people being laid off and stuff like that, and they go out there and tell it. Some of them go viral. As long as they're not bashing a company, it may be okay. But I will tell you like this. Refrain from doing that. Like, don't do it. There's no reason to. It always looks bad. Even like, when elections were going on last year, man, I got family members. That just so butthurt. Man, they were so butthurt, and you saw it, and you still see it. Instagram posts, Facebook posts, still butthurt. Like, why is that energy? Terrible. Just don't post. Don't worry about it. Can't do anything about it. Can't. You're going to look back and people are going to be like, I know something going on in that household. Billy Rose says, you take 17 weeks off, you are a new employee. Right? You ain't lying. You coming back, you done lost everything that you learned before. Especially in this world of AI and how things have changed so much. You are a new employee. You're starting over from day one. Taking 17 weeks off, man. I'm like, Billy, man, tell me this, brother. You manage men. You manage women. Leonard comes in. Really? Well, you already know that Leonard's going to be having a kid. Leonard is a B player, B minus. He doesn't take the workload off your plate. He causes you to do more work. Okay? You have to manage Leonard. You got to manage him really, really, really close. Leonard comes to you. You know he's not real serious about his career, but he's on a team, you got to manage him, right? I mean, like, you've had multiple opportunities where you probably wanted to put him on a pit, but you just like, it's too much work, yada, yada, yada. He comes to you. Leonard asks Billy, Mr. Rowe, I'm going to take 17 weeks off. And typically the people who take 17 weeks off are the people who are like the middle or below underperformers anyway. So they feel like they can just do it. What would you do, Mr. Rowe? Tina said he lost all the momentum. He lost all the momentum for sure. But what would you do, Mr. Rowe? Tell me what you're going to do, Mr. Rowe. You're going to manage his ass out? You're going to look at him sideways? I want to know, right? Because it's important for people to know, especially the guys in this chat, to understand exactly what they can and can't do. That's something that you just don't do. Don't go and take 17 weeks off for paternity leave. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about 5 things that we were told in our careers that we've been lied to about. I mean, this is something that's, we need to discuss. There are many things that we've been lied to about, man. Billy says, we call it the scream test. If I cannot feel his loss of production when he gets back, I'm going to save that money. Lower head count. You help with efficiency. Billy's going to go to his manager and be like, we got budget for this now. I help with help improve our efficiency. Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, well, let's move on, guys. 5 things we were told about our careers that weren't true. I think this is an important conversation that we need to have, man, because we got some young ones. You got our brother who's in there, who's 16 years old, and he needs to know exactly what he needs to be doing in order for him to have success. The last thing I want him to do is believe into the lies that we've been told. So this is based on an article that I found on Business Insider that I came across, and I was like, all right, let me just share it with my peeps. We've all got a whole bunch of career advice, good advice, some bad advice, some really bad advice. A lot of times you've heard things like follow your passion. You hear people on YouTube, just follow your passion. Go to school for English. Go to school for psychology. Go to school for anthropology, and you just follow your passion. If you like to dig for dinosaurs and crush rocks, just follow your passion. Life is going to be just fine for you. You heard people say that. Follow your passion. Then you heard other people say, just climb the corporate ladder. I'm one of the ones that says, guys, go and climb that corporate ladder. And I still believe into that in some aspects of it. Some people have said, don't job hop. Nah, man, you better stay still in that job for a long time. Don't be job hopping, because you job hop, people are going to look at your resume. They're going to be like, why you moving so much? But in 2025, the workplace has changed, guys. All these things that we've been told and we've been telling other people, it may be wrong, because the workplace has changed. And if you're still following some of these outdated rules, then you may be behind. Okay? So let's talk about the follow your passion one, man. Gosh. I never believed into that one because I didn't come from very much. What was very clear to me is that engineers, doctors, lawyers made a lot of money. That wasn't a passion. That's not a passion for anybody. It's a career that you have to figure out and you have to learn. So I always believed that I wanted to make a lot of money because I think that God wants people to be rich and have a good amount of money to be able to help people. Okay? Not just was the ultimate goal was for me to make a good amount of money. So I didn't believe into the follow your passion, but there's many people that's been preaching follow your passion. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Passion don't pay the bills. If you are going to be working right now and all of a sudden, like I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and stop what work that I'm doing and this follow your passion because your passion right now is you want to become a TikToker or Instagram influencer or you want to become a YouTuber. Passion does not pay bills. You know what pays the bills? Having a high value skill. Having a skill that people really need. It could be plumbing, it could be electrician. Could be your mouthpiece. It could be communication. It could be the fact that you could be a person that can capture people's attention. And you can do it for a very long time. You could be a preacher. You could be whatever it is. But it shouldn't be based on your passion. It should be based on the skills that are high value. Most people at the end of the day don't find their passion. They develop it. They develop it through action and they develop it through the results that come along with them putting in work. Just a reality of it. And nobody starts off saying that my passion is playing basketball. No, basketball becomes your passion once you figure that you're pretty good at it. And you put in the work. And people say, man, that person's good. Then it becomes a passion of yours. That's something that is a lie. So anybody saying follow the passion, guys don't believe it. Everybody heard that one. Everybody heard it. Everybody heard it. Believe me, passion is for hobbies. Passion is for your side projects. Passion is for doing something to get your wife out of your butt. Okay? You get your wife from yelling at you. Get you to be creative, whatever it is. Passion is not for you to make money. Okay? Let's talk about climbing the corporate ladder. Because, man, I believe in this one too. And I still do believe in it. But the reality of it is that companies are flattening their structures. I mean, there are less rungs in that ladder. There are very less rungs, a lot more less rungs in that ladder, especially now when middle managers are being cut off. Now, this may change again in another 5 to 10 years, or another 4 to 5 years, where as companies begin to grow again and you start to have that hierarchy. But not what I'm seeing right now. They're getting rid of a lot of middle management. So climbing that corporate ladder may not be what you should be looking for. That's just the reality of it. And I believed into it. And the question is am I doing it now? I will tell you like this. My goal is to learn the skills that I need so that I can make a whole bunch of money. If that means climbing the corporate ladder, that means climbing the corporate ladder. But ultimately, I want to gain skills that people just need. That's all. Okay? I want to have a career portfolio with lateral moves, a whole bunch of projects, a whole bunch of successes, so that when I talk to people and they were like, oh, we need a leader for customer success, I can be that person. We need a leader for sales, I can be that person. We need a COO of a company, I can be that person. So climbing the corporate ladder, manager, VP, and just continue to stack and go. No. I want experiences so that I can build the skills that people can say, all right, you have the skills that's going to help us transform this business. And I aim for success on my own terms. And I think that most of you should aim for success on your own terms, not just titles and not just promotions. Now, that's something I had to learn. I'll tell you like this, I had to learn that. I think the ladder right now is broken. It's not a step-by-step approach anymore. Maybe that's the new reality. No, not maybe, that is just the new reality. When I look at other people's career who are at SVPs and CEOs and COOs of companies, they've had, it's not even a ladder. It's almost like a wave, multiple waves, sometimes a big wave, sometimes a short wave. It's how long you're in the game. And another lie that we could talk about is people saying don't job hop. I used to believe in this one too. Talking to my 16-year-old self, I'll tell myself, make smart job changes. Don't stay at a job for too long. 5 years is too long. 5 years is too long. That's what I would tell myself. I've done 9 years at 2 companies. 9 years and 9 years. Too long. Especially now in this type of a market that we're in, where everything is accelerating so fast. 5 years is an eternity. So job hop, but do it smart. Do it for career acceleration. Do it to strategically increase your salary and your skill set faster. That's what it's about. It's about you increasing your salary and your skill set. And the only way you're going to increase your salary is by gaining certain skill sets. At the end of the day now, employers care about results more than tenure. So for the people that told us to stick around, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and I was one of the ones that told you to do it, it's a lie. It's a lie today. And I would own up to it. I told you guys a lie. I told you guys a lie, man. And that's the reality of it. That's what I believed at that time. And also another lie that people most recently was telling too is tech skills are all that matters. That's a lie. You need tech skills to win. You need tech skills to win to make $500,000 a year. You need tech skills to do all that stuff. Nope, AI is replacing many technical jobs. But what's important? Those soft skills. And those soft skills are used for leadership, communication, strategic thinking. Those are all good skills to have when you are in sales. So the people who are winning right now are the people who manage AI, not just the one who actually can code it and ask it prompts. I mean, tech is important, don't get me wrong, but AI is already doing a lot of the coding in automation. So what companies really need are people who can think, people who can prompt, people who can strategize, people who can lead, and people who can have relationships and build relationships with customers. So what are they? There are the soft skills. And one more lie that was told. Bring your full self to work. Bring your whole self to work. Be authentic. Be the person that you are at home and so forth. In some aspects of it, you want to be authentic. But man, work is not therapy. You got to be professional. Keep it professional. You have to. From the way you dress to where you carry yourself, that all matters. I know one point in time with COVID, people are walking around here looking at Adam Sandler at the Grammys or whatever, the Emmys, whether it was shorts, and he got called out for it and he left. That's the reality, what people think sometimes. And people will call attention if you're not looking professional. And the reality of it is not everything that you say and do belongs in the office. And your coworker shouldn't know about it. So you have to control your personal brand. And you have to control your professional brand as well. A lot of times we've been told to bring your whole self to work, and I even got caught up in that one as well too. It's going to be as authentic as possible. Nope. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a big lie. Uh-oh. People are saying there's a bad feedback on the audio. What'd I do? Oh, I think I got it fixed. Andy Tan is in the house. Good to see you, man. Passion can just be a hobby. I agree. Your favorite Leo says there's an echo since you opened the webpage. Oh, man. Bad feedback. Jared Caldwell says, I appreciate that, buddy. You know what? I flipped over to the wrong website and it screwed up, but it looks like my audio is back working right now. So good. But guys, I wanted to talk about one more segment here. Maybe two more. The economic blackout on February the 28th. That's what I want to talk about. The economic blackout. What do you guys know about this economic blackout? I was under a rock. I didn't know anything about it. I mean, this was supposed to happen on Friday. Let's jump over here real quick. Turn off that audio. There you go. It was supposed to be an economic blackout on Friday, guys. People, you weren't supposed to spend. You weren't supposed to go out there and visit any retail. You weren't supposed to charge any money on your credit card. Man, I didn't hear about this until today. My homeboy, I was on YouTube. I saw a video come by Orlando Minor, my homeboy. So I went to go check it out. Lando was like, man, it was an economic blackout. I'm like, what? Apparently, Friday, February 28th, thousands of Americans had plans to hit corporations where it hurts. That's their wallets, right? So we got a grassroots group called the People's Union of United States of America. And they were going to organize economic blackouts to protest corporate corruption, urging people to stop spending for one day. Well, you know what? I personally think that Trump and Elon Musk must be doing a pretty good job, because they must have stopped some of the funding to some of these organizations that would be pushing that kind of message. And that message didn't come across me. I didn't see a YouTube ad on it. I see videos about it on YouTube now. But typically, if this was in a different economy or under a different leadership, this would have been everywhere. Let's get over here real quick. I want to, we're going to talk about this. I'll let you guys hear about this. Turn the audio on.
Nationwide are being encouraged to put away their wallets today as part of a social media movement calling for an economic blackout. The grassroots organization, the People's Union USA, describes its campaign as an act of economic resistance, urging Americans to avoid all unnecessary spending for 24 hours, especially at major retailers. Reg Chapman reports on the impact some small businesses are seeing here.
On Friday, February 28th, the People's Union will make its first move.
It's been circulating around social media for days, the call to action encouraging U.S. residents to not spend any money for 24 hours.
Do not spend money on anything, not at any major corporation, no Amazon, no Walmart, no banks, no fast food chains. Only support small local businesses and essential needs.
Activists say the economic blackout is in protest against the influence of billionaires and big corporations on the lives of working Americans.
For decades, they have told us that we are powerless, that we have no control, and that this system is too big, too strong, too unshakable. But here's what they don't want you to realize. We, the people, are the system. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who buy. And we are the ones who make this country run.
There is no real way to tell how many people are taking part in the economic boycott, or if it is hurting national retailers. But Mississippi Market on West 7th Street in St. Paul is community-owned and is noticing an uptick in people walking through the door.
But we also saw a whole bunch of people come in last night. We weren't exactly expecting it, but definitely an increase in traffic last night for people maybe preparing last minute to not shop today.
Store director Laura Bowerin says people are speaking out about why they are spending their dollars here.
Keeping their dollars local and supporting local businesses has been coming up a lot. We also are hearing people talking about the economic blackout today.
Maria Metzger is one of many who decided to shop local today.
We came here because we wanted to avoid going to Target or Walmart, because I was telling my son about the economic blackout and how this is a form of protest.
Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
Today's economic blackout comes in the midst of boycotts of Minnesota-based Target and other companies that have reduced diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and to oppose President Donald Trump's attacks on DEI programs and policies. Consumers nationwide are being
All right. You guys heard it. Economic blackout. I didn't get the message. How effective was it? I didn't get the message. Christian says, I feel like sometimes when people get jobs, they devote way too much information, telling them their life story to get people and then become office gossip. Yep. Bezos has his own slice of the media empire with Washington Post, and Amazon was the target of the boycott. The question is did you guys participate in this? Did you guys hear about it? Why was I so late to the game? Usually, if this is an effective way to protest, it hits mass media. How many people in the chat right here participated in this boycott? If you guys participated in this boycott, put a 3 in the chat. Boy, Christian, you are a smart man. You are a smart man. Christian says, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but how effective can an economic blackout be if it's only for one day? If it's only for one day. The Montgomery boycott worked back in the day because they boycotted for over a year. How effective can an economic blackout be for one day? How is that going to impact the business for one day? A small business. Actually, it probably hurts them because it hurts their supply chain, because typically they aren't expecting a whole rush of people to come in and order a whole bunch of stuff or take a whole bunch of stuff off their shelves. So it causes a bullwhip effect. One day, somebody decides that they want to order a whole bunch of stuff. Now, that triggers in their supply chain, and it causes a whole bunch of confusion within their supply chain. So how effective is something like this, guys? Kwaku says, I heard about it on Instagram. 3, participated. Okay. I had one person participate in it. See, I don't go on Instagram like that, so I didn't hear about it. But what did you do, Kwaku? Did you not spend any money on Friday? If you needed some toilet paper, you wasn't going to go buy it? Needed some eggs? Friday is a good day to go out and buy some fish. Go out and buy some steak. Go out and buy some beer. Did you not participate in it? Or did you participate in it, but you actually shop local? Help me understand. Because I can tell you what I did on Friday. Picked the kids up from school, smoked a cigar, took the kids to Dairy Queen. Man, I was at Dairy Queen. Eating some ice cream, not giving a darn about this economic blackout by this guy who says the power is with the people. I didn't care. I didn't see it. I didn't care. And now that I'm hearing about it, do I care? Would I have done it? Hell no. It's not effective. And I can bet that the results are going to come out, and it's going to show that this wasn't effective. This didn't hit everybody. Even if Target loses sales for a day, it's not going to bother them very much because people are still going to shop. There are many people who filter social media and other forms of media and just going about their day. And some people that just don't even care about any of that sort of stuff. So it's not very effective. It's not very effective at all. My brother Andy Tan says, it probably started from someone sitting on the couch thinking about a viral moment on social media. You ain't lying. Oh, you know what? Just sitting on the couch in their drawers. They're sitting on the couch, right? You got nothing else to do, probably play video games. You know, oh man, I'm so upset. Let's get a whole bunch of people to follow me. Let's go ahead and boycott the system. Let's see if we can get so many people to boycott the system. And people went and did it. Some people did. The majority of people like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Life is good over here. I'm just waking up, having a good day, worrying about what I'm worrying about, my family, taking my kids to have some Dairy Queen. My kids wanted Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzards. So I took him to get Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzards. And I got myself a coffee earlier that day. My wife had already made some good food. So I didn't have to go out, and we didn't have to go out to eat. Went out to eat on Saturday, went out to eat on Sunday. If I would have heard about the economic boycott on Friday, would I have spent money? Hell yeah. And he said it right. Probably started from somebody sitting on the couch in their drawers. And you get a whole bunch of people that's going to follow them. It just shows sometimes that we buy into things that we don't need to be buying into, and we really give energy to things that we don't need to give energy to. Even with the whole conflict thing that's going on with Ukraine and, you know, President Trump and Zelensky and all of this stuff, I don't buy into any of that sort of stuff. I don't need that energy around me, man. My goals are to focus on accomplishing my big rock by March 31st. People who get caught up in all this stuff, economic blackouts and, you know, Zelensky and Trump and Adrian Broner and all this other stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good entertainment. It's good conversations. But if it's stopping you from getting what you need to get done, boy, your priorities are wrong. Your priorities are wrong. And here's a piece of it. Kwaku says it's dividend activism. There's a lot more ways to get dividends and being active. And it typically is better doing it smaller. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. And these kind of things right here, they really do need like large involvement in order for these kind of things to pick up. And it needs to be for more than one day, like Christian says. It doesn't need to be for one day. Like, that's doing nothing. That's lazy, actually. It's kind of like, all right, we're going to go to the gym today and lift weights. Everyone have a body for the rest of the year. Come on, man. I'm going to the beach, but I just need to go to the gym today so I can feel good and get that pump and be sore. And then tell people that you work out. That is BS, guys. It's BS. Christian says, if you really want to make a change in a corporate America, form a coalition, buy stock in said corporation, then you have the power to dictate how the company moves. Way to do it. But even then, it's kind of small, Christian. You got to be a investor, a big investor. Huge. You almost got to be like a Carl Icahn if you want to be an investor. But yes, you're right. Buy stock. At least that's the way to hurt them. When you start buying and selling, that's the way to get them. But guys, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. It's a Monday, and it's been a good one, guys. It's been a fantastic day. I've already been talking already for an hour and a half, and I'm not going to hit the 2-hour mark. I was going to talk about the Tank Davis story, but I decided I want not to touch on that one. Damien says, 25 Dairy King restaurants in Texas closed in February. Sounds like yours was saved. Mine was saved, but they ain't going to touch the New Braunfels Dairy Queens. You'll be surprised. The ones that they did close, that guy who owned them, they weren't doing that well. And they were in interesting parts of Texas, like Baymont. One was in San Antonio, but on the wrong side of San Antonio. Billy Rose says, I already moved my money accordingly, 365, right? That doesn't need to be one day. Doesn't need to be one day. And don't follow and jump on somebody else's train when you really don't know what the hell's going on. Guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you guys rocking me. Good to see you, Billy Rowe. Good to see you, Brother Damon. Good to see you, Brother Christian. Good to see you, Anthony Anderson. Good to see you, Mr. Tan. Mr. Tan is coming to us from Malaysia. That's my good brother right there, Mr. Tan. Kwaku, good to see you as well. Jared was in the house. Your favorite Leo. Thank you so much for telling me that I had an echo. We got it fixed. You know, that happens sometimes with this technology stuff. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We will see you next Monday. Until next time, peace. Mr. Barney, good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Ant Dog was in the house. Young boy, they gon' get you. I like it. Jason Chastain was in the house. Good to see you, my man. Thank you so much, Damien, for the $9.99 super chat. The July for Cam. Thank you so much for the $99 super chat. Vinny B was in the house. Good to see you, my man. Steven Stern was in the house at the house making the millions. Till my shadow Hernandez in the house. Good to see it. NC Realtor as well. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and